Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is February 28th, 2021, and this is episode 216. Today we're looking at Robyn Hood, Iron Maiden. This is part 2 of 2 from Zenoscope, and it's a 30-pager of content at a whopping $5.99. And what we've got here on the cover is Robyn Hood shooting an arrow off of some kind of, looks like a gargoyle or some kind. This doesn't really happen in this issue. However, in the background we have a new character, I believe, called the Iron Maiden. And she was made by when a young teenager was pressed into the torture device, Iron Maiden, that was possessed by an ancient cursed sorcerer of some kind way back when. So let's get into this a little bit. The last issue ended with the Iron Maiden teeing off against Robyn Hood, and there was a lot of threat involved because Iron Maiden seemed very unstoppable and like a killing machine, and she was thinking that Robyn Hood was getting in her way and needed to be killed as well. So we get a little blurb of what has happened and who Robyn Hood is and what's been going on with her in the past few arcs here. The writer on this is Joe Bruscia. The artist is Renato Ray. And the colors is Grostier. And the letters was Taylor Esposito. So it is a recommend. It's not the greatest story in the world, and it's a letdown from the previous issue, or I should say the previous arc, which was called Justice. I believe that was a 6-issue arc. This is just a 2-issue arc, and it's kind of retelling the Jeffrey Epstein story with a different narrative a little bit. But, all the human trafficking and all the child stuff is in here. It's not overly shown at all, but we do get a lot of action. As you can see, Robyn starts off where she left off in the last issue. They're in Jerry Wepstein's like his museum of torture devices that he has in his penthouse, and the Iron Maiden's just ripping him apart as she's trying to take down Robyn Hood. She actually wants to get Jerry Wepstein, who pushed the teenager, I think her name was Vanda, into the Iron Maiden and unleash this crazy, vicious, I don't know what you would call her, some kind of warrior. And you can see Robyn Hood is against the wall. So Robyn Hood's just trying to slow her down. Jerry Wepstein is trying to escape. He's heading into the elevator there naked. And Robyn's able to slow down the Iron Maiden just enough to let Jerry escape for now. You can see Iron Maiden going down the elevator shaft, so that was pretty cool. They get to the street. Jerry's still trying to run away. Iron Maiden pops out, but Robyn Hood is right on her tails. They have a quick little conference here about, get out of my way. And she say, no, I have to stop you. And the reason being is Jerry Wepstein has all this information about other things, about other people and connections and whatnot. And to kill him, they would lose all that, despite all the evil things that he is currently doing. So the battle continues between Iron Maiden and Robyn Hood. And you can see it rolls through the streets of New York. Finally, with the Iron Maiden crushing a car into the side of a building, and Robyn Hood is kind of just narrowly escapes that. Meanwhile, at a private jet port, Jerry Weinstein has escaped on a jet to his private island. That sounds familiar. It's just like what Jeffrey Epstein had, his own private island. And Iron Maiden shows up too late, but she gets some information out of the driver here that he has gone off to an island. So we show Robyn she recovers from the fight and heads to a friend known as the district attorney, who used to work for Jerry Wepstein but quit because she knew of all his nefarious activities. And I guess she's also known as a character of the Black Knight, which I'm not familiar with. I'm assuming that's another Zenoscope character. So she gives Robyn some aid, tells her to go meet this guy named Smitty. He'll fly you out undercover to the island, and you can take it from there. So they go ahead and load this seaplane, and unbeknownst to Robyn, the Iron Maiden is there, and she hitches a ride on the outside. So we get a lot going on. And if you recall in the first issue, there's this gentleman here who has asked Robyn Hood, or actually Robyn Hood overhears that his daughter's missing, and she volunteers to try to find him, knowing that the daughter has gone with this Jerry Wepstein and has actually died on the island weeks earlier. So they make it to the island, and this is where Iron Maiden pops out, and they make a truce, and they decide to work together. And it's a good thing because there's all kinds of armed guards there with new technology and whatnot to try to stop them. But together, Robyn Hood and the Iron Maiden are able to take down all these obstacles. You can see this splash page of Robyn taking down the ninja chick, and you can see the kind of the flying tanks and whatnot going on here. And that's what Iron Maiden's taking down, the big heavy artillery. It just goes on and on. They finally pin Jerry down, and Iron Maiden's ready to knock him out, and Robyn Hood talks him out of killing him, that he's got other information. And they just say, well, if he gets away, we're going to take him down. So back in New York, Smitty's just dropped Robyn Hood off, and I think this might be another. He has offered his services because he's more than just a pilot. His aircraft is just his hobby, and so she may be taking him up on this later on, as you'll see. I don't want to go to the conclusion here because they take Jerry Wepstein away. Turns out he had made a deal with the devil, and then we'll just skip ahead to this is the setup for the next issue, where there's a gentleman walking in an alley, he finds a wallet, and he sees the man covers open, and he crawls down there, sees more money. He's going, oh, somebody down here? You know, where are you? And he comes in across this big web of all these corpses in it, and you can see the eyes of a spider before it. And coming next month, Cult of the Spider Queen. So that looks like it might be kind of interesting. I don't know if Joe Brucha's on it or Chuck Dixon will be back, but we'll find out, and I'll check that out maybe and see if we'll do a review on that one. In the meantime, Zenoscopa has other things out. The Dark Watchers with Gretel, and that is written by Brian Hawkins. Then we have Grim Spotlight, The Black Knight versus Lord of the Flies. That's another Joe Brucha title. Van Helsing, Hellfire, another Joe Brucha. And there's Hellfire, and there's Van Helsing. Belle, Dead of Winter, that's the Dave Franchini, Dave Franchini title. Grim Fairy Tales, The Dark Book continues on. Myths and Legends Gretel, that's another Dave Franchini title. Van Helsing 50 with Joe Brucha once again on that one. And then this ongoing series, Conspiracy. The writers are, oh boy, I have trouble reading that. It looks like Hans Redenoff and Adam Goldberg. And finally, The Courier, Liberty and Death. We are reviewing this. Currently, we've done the first 2 issues, and it is a 3-issue arc, so we'll be doing the 3rd issue when that comes out. So thanks for stopping by and listening to me go on and on about Robyn Hood. Like I said, I recommend this, but it's not super strong. It's not super compelling. It does have a lot of action and it's fun. And the bad guy gets his comeuppance and go to see Justice, because that was even more fun. That was the arc before this. So thanks for stopping by the Temple of Tomes. As always, please like, please subscribe if you haven't, and please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.